Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to walk you through the creation of a light bulb using something called a Helix feature. So let's go. So the first thing we want to do once we get into OnShape is create a new document. We're just going to call this document light bulb. Now what we need to do is go in and look at some of the dimensions of the light bulb we're going to be creating. So we're going to create this Helix feature first. Starting out with a sketch on the front plane, I'm going to uncheck the visibility of my top and right side plane just to clean up the middle of my screen here. Rotate to the front view, and we're going to use a rectangle tool. The rectangle tool is going to be roughly 1 inch tall and roughly 1/2 inch wide. Remember, we want to use the dimensions from that bottom threaded E26 section, which was about 1 inch wide and about 1 inch tall. But since we're revolving this, we're going to use half the width. So I'm going to make the very top line 0.5 inches in width. I'm going to make the right side line 1 inch in height. This is going to get us close enough to what a light bulb would normally look like. My next step is to go ahead and revolve that profile around, switching to the red box that says revolve axis, the left vertical line. This should give us a cylinder shape. Click the check mark. Now we're looking for a feature called Helix. The Helix feature is going to be located using the down arrow where the plane option is. Find the option for Helix. Click on it, select the cylinder, and you'll notice a spiral pattern has been added to the cylinder itself. This is our Helix Path. We're going to use this to create a triangular shape that's going to look like threads. Let's set some options here for our Helix. Let's go ahead and keep the revolutions at 4 and the start angle at 0 degrees. Click the green check mark to finish that Helix feature. Now what you want to do is at the bottom of your features menu, where it says part 1, you want to uncheck the visibility. This will get rid of the cylinder, but keep the helix. So now you can see I've got a helical path that I'm going to be able to use to draw some kind of a thread feature on, and then create the threads that we're going to need for the bottom of the light bulb. So clicking once again on the word front. Now that we have our helical in place, we're going to add a sketch plane to the front face. We're going to zoom in and begin by creating a vertical line using the line tool, starting in the bottom right corner of the helical coil. Draw that vertical line straight up. Right click to terminate or escape that line command, and then use your dimension tool to apply a vertical dimension of 0.24. You'll see why we didn't want to go all the way to the next curve on the helical coil in just a minute. Now I want to use the line tool again, starting at the midpoint of my vertical line and drawing out to the right. Again, right click, escape the line command, use your dimension tool, and place a 0.125 inch dimension on that horizontal line. Now I'm going to use the line tool again to close off this triangle by clicking from the top point of my vertical line to the right side point of my horizontal line. Repeat that step again from the bottom point of my vertical line to the right end point of my horizontal line. I now have my triangle profile created. I can click the green check mark to finish that sketch, choose the sweep feature, and select both triangle halves as my profile. Now switch to sweep path and choose the helical coil. This is going to create for us a spiral threaded image. This is what we'll use as the spiral threads for our light bulb. Go ahead and click the green check mark to finish the sweep feature. Click on the front face. Now we're going to create the revolutionary profile that's going to make up the light bulb itself. Once again, we're going to add a sketch to the front face. We're going to use the rectangle tool, starting at the origin point, drawing this rectangle up through the helical. Using the dimension tool, I'm going to dimension a 0.5 inch dimension, which it may already be if I aligned it with the helical coil, no worries. And then I'm going to give it a vertical dimension of 1.1. Now, in addition to this, I'm going to create a circle in line with our origin point. Move up, start the circle, draw it back down, and then we've got to get a dimension for the diameter of this circle. Looking back at the image I have for my light bulb, the diameter of this circle is 3 1/8 inches. So going back to OnShape, I'm going to give this circle a dimension of 3 1/8. In order to put the correct 1/8 inch dimension on here, I'm going to have to convert it to a decimal. 3.125. So now that we have our diameter for the head of the light bulb finished, we're now going to add that smooth curve that goes from the spiral helical feature up into the light bulb. We're going to use the 3-point arc feature for this. So go ahead and select 3-point arc. Click on the upper right corner of the rectangle we just created. Then go up and click on the round light bulb circle somewhere in the lower right corner. Now this could change a little bit depending on which person is doing it and where you end up selecting, but roughly in this area right here. You'll notice next that I have to add that third point to terminate the arc. Now I could terminate this arc in many different areas, but what I want to do is create that smooth curve from the light bulb down to the radial rectangle that we're using to create the base. So you'll see it kind of snaps itself when it likes the position here. So let's go ahead and just terminate it there. So now I have that profile nearly complete. What I'm going to do next is draw a vertical line from the origin point at the bottom all the way up through to the very top part of my light bulb. This is where I'll trim off all of the left side features for the big circle and the inside feature for the big circle, including the top line of my lower rectangle. Now I have a profile that I can use to revolve and finish the shape or form for my light bulb. I'm going to click the green check mark to end sketch 3. Use the Revolve feature. Select the inner profile of the light bulb, change to revolve axis, and then pick the inner left vertical line. Click the green check mark. And now we have a light bulb. This could be used to create something fun like a water slide for your lake house. Don't forget your next step is to add a drawing sheet. Here we're going to place part 2 only. Create a front profile, a top profile, and an isometric profile. You don't have to create a right profile. What I'd like to do is double click on the isometric profile and change its scale. I'd like to scale this up to a 1:1. All I need are a few simple dimensions for this one. An overall dimension for the diameter, an overall dimension for the height, and then a smaller dimension for the height and width of the coil. If you can provide those simple dimensions, that will get you the easy 100 for the drawing sheet. Don't forget to share your drawings with me once they are complete. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at the helical feature in OnShape. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this.